Hello students, welcome back to my YouTube channel Mathematical Lens by Namita. In this video, we are going to continue with chapter number 8, Working with Fractions of Grade 7 Mathematics of the new NCERT textbook Ganit Prakash. And we are going to start with division of fractions. So what is division? This we have learnt in lower classes, like you are dividing 12 by 4, you get 3 as an answer, right? So what is 12 over here? That is the dividend. 4 is the divisor, and 3, the answer which we get, is known as a quotient. But can this problem be restated as multiplication problem? Like, what should be multiplied with 4 or by 4 to get 12? Right? You can think in terms of that. 4 multiplied by dash gives you 12. Right? So that is how we do mental division. Right? So what do we write over here? So 4 threes are 12. This is changed into a multiplication sum. Now the same technique can be used for converting a division into multiplication problem to divide fractional numbers. Right? So suppose here the question is 1 divided by 2 upon 3 is equal to question mark, or what is the answer? So what do? We write it as a multiplication problem, that 2 upon 3 multiplied by what, question mark, gives you 1 as an answer. Right? So what should be multiplied by 2 upon 3 to get a product of 1? Now if we see, if we somehow cancel out 2 and 3, we are left with 1. Right? If we cancel out. So what are the possibilities here? 2 upon 3, here 3 upon 2. So that we cancel 3, 3 and 2, 2, and we get the answer as 1. Right? So what is our answer? 1 divided by 2 upon 3. The answer is 3 upon 2. This is one example. Let us see another example. Like suppose 3 divided by 2 upon 3. So again we change into multiplication. So 2 upon 3 multiplied by dash gives you 3. So what do we do here if we apply the same technique? First we get 1. 2 upon 3 multiplied by 3 upon 2. So this will give you 1, but we want answer as 3. So we multiplied by 3. Right? So, and then we combine this. Right? So what do we get? 3 threes are 9 upon 2. That means 2 upon 3 should be multiplied by 9 upon 2 to get the answer 3. How to get that answer 3? Here we can cancel 2, 2, and we cancel 3 ones are 3 threes are. So the answer is 3. This is another example. Right? Now both are fractional numbers. 1 upon 5 divided by 1 upon 2. So if we restate it, what we'll write? 1 upon 2 multiplied by dash gives you 1 upon 5. Now how will we solve this? So our target is, the answer is 1 upon 5. Right? That means we need to cancel 2. Right? So 1 upon 2 into 2 into 1 upon 5. So that 2 gets cancelled, and our answer is 1 upon 5. That means 1 upon 2 should be multiplied by 2 upon 5 to get 1 upon 5. Right? This is how the division sums are solved. Let us take one more example. Like what is 2 upon 3 divided by 3 upon 5? So we rewrite it as 3 upon 5 multiplied by dash gives you 2 upon 3. So how to solve this? So what do? We write 3 upon 5 multiplied with 5 upon 3, and whatever is our answer, that is 2 upon 3. Because these 2 will be cancelled, 3 3 will be cancelled, 5 5 will be cancelled, and the answer you will get is 2 upon 3. So then we combine these 2, and 5 2s are 10, and this becomes 3 3s are 9. That means 3 upon 5 should be multiplied by 10 upon 9 to get the answer 2 upon 3. Right? So our answer is 10 upon 9. Got it? So, in each of the division problem above, which we saw just now, observe how we found out the answer. So, can we frame a rule that tells us how to divide two fractions? Right? So, in every division problem, we have a dividend, divisor, and we need to get the answer. That is the quotient. Right? So, 2 upon 3 divided by 3 upon 5. That's the dividend. This is divisor. And we get the quotient, that is 10 upon 9. So, the technique is we have been using to get the quotient is first find the number which gives 1 when multiplied by the divisor. Okay, so this 3 upon 5 we multiplied by what? 5 upon 3, right? So how will it give 1? When we swap the numerator and denominator. So 3 upon 5, when it is multiplied by 5 upon 3, 5 gets cancelled, 3 gets cancelled as 1. Right. Now this 5 upon 3, it is known as reciprocal. This is a very important word which you should know for division. Right. Reciprocal means we just swap the numerator and denominator. It is also known as multiplicative inverse. Right. So the reciprocal of 3 upon 5 is 5 upon 3. Right. So when we multiply a fraction by its reciprocal, we get 1. So first thing is we find out its reciprocal. Now when we multiply the dividend with this reciprocal to get the quotient, this is what happens and we get the answer, right? So summarizing, to divide two fractions, what do we do? First find the reciprocal and then multiply this dividend to get the quotient. So here, suppose we are dividing A upon B divided by C upon D. So what do? We take C upon D, write its reciprocal. What is the reciprocal of C upon D? It will be D upon C. Right? And then we multiply and we get AD upon BC. That's our answer. Here it is written with the multiplication sign. So, as with this method and formula for additions and subtraction and multiplication of fractions that you learnt earlier, this method of formula for division of fractions in general form was first explicitly stated by Brahmagupta, again in Brahma Foot Siddhant, right, in 628 CE. So to evaluate, for example, 2 upon 3 divided by 3 upon 5 using Brahmagupta's formula, what do? We write 2 upon 3 divided by 3 upon 5. So in the next step, what do? We write 2 upon 3 as it is and we write the reciprocal of the divisor. So reciprocal of 3 upon 5 is 5 upon 3. And you get, by multiplying, 2 5s are 10 and 3 3s are 9. So this is your quotient, 10 upon 9. Right? So whatever I just explained, that was for you to understand. But actually when you are dividing, you will just do this step. But what you need to remember, just write the reciprocal of the divisor, not the dividend. Dividend will remain as it is. Right? So the division sign can be changed into multiplication sign by writing its reciprocal. And then simply it is same as multiplication. So let us see the terms dividend, divisor and the quotient once again. So when we divide two whole numbers like 6 divided by 3, we get 2 as a quotient. Right? So here 6 is divided by 3, which is equal to 2. Here 2 is less than 6. Right? So that is, the quotient is always less than the dividend in case of integers. Now what happens when we divide 6 by 1/4? So when you divide 6 by 1/4, I just explained you what we do. We write the reciprocal. So 1 upon 4, what is the reciprocal of 1 upon 4 will be 4 upon 1. that is 4. So 6 fours are 24. The answer is 24. Now here just observe that the quotient which we are getting is greater than the division. Okay. Similarly, what happens when we divide 1 upon 8 by 1 upon 4? So what do we do? Again, we write the reciprocal of 1 upon 4 means 4, right? 4 upon 1, and we cut it. 4 ones are 4 twos are. So the answer is half. Now half, as you know, it is the greatest unit fraction, right? So half is greater than 1 upon 8. So here too, the quotient is greater than the dividend, right? So when do you think that the quotient is less than the division, and when is it greater than the division? So is there a relationship between the divisor and the quotient? So use your understanding of such relationship in multiplication to answer the questions above. So this question which is posed over here, I'll explain you through a very simple example. Right? Suppose you are dividing 6 by half. So here 6, if you change it into multiplication, then you write the reciprocal. So 6 twos are 12. So you get the answer as 12. So when you're dividing 6 by half, you get 12. Now 12 is greater than 6. So how does this happen? So now you imagine you have 6 chocolates. These are 6 bars of chocolate. So divide by half, what does it mean? That you are dividing each chocolate by half. Right? So how many halves are there? 12 halves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 halves. So here actually the answer which we are getting 12. They are not whole. They are 12 halves. Right? So I hope you have understood this concept of the relationship between the quotient and the dividend in terms of division by fractional numbers. Now let us see some real life examples which involve fractions. Example number 3. Lena has made 5 cups of tea. She used 1/4 liter of milk for this. How much milk is there in each cup of tea? Right? So what is done over here? They have divided 1/4 liter of 5 cups. Right? So this is milk in 1 cup. So this is 1/4 liter of milk, and it is divided into 5 cups. So Lena used 1/4 liter of milk in 5 cups of tea. So in 1 cup of tea, that how will you do? 1/4 divided by 5. Right? Now when we change this into multiplication, we have 5 into milk per cup is equal to 1 upon 4. Right? That means we change this 1 upon 4 into multiplication and write the reciprocal. So we get the answer as 1 upon 20. Right? So multiplying this by reciprocal, that is 1 upon 5, we get the answer as 1 upon 20. That means each cup of tea has 1 upon 20 liters of milk. Right? Now let us see example number 4. Some of the oldest examples of working with non-unit fractions occur in humanity's oldest geometry text, that is Sulabh Sutra. So here is an example from Bodhian's Sulabh Sutras, which is from 800 BC. So cover an area of 7.5 square units with square bricks. Each of those sides is 1 upon 5 units. So how many such bricks are square bricks are needed? So now first we find out the area of brick area of each square brick. So what is the formula to find out area of square? That is side into side, and the side of each brick was 1 upon 5. So 1 upon 5 into 1 upon 5, that is 1 upon 25 square units. The total area to be covered is 7.5 square units. So 7.5 is converted. This is mixed form, so we convert it into improper form. So 7 2s are 14 plus 1, 15. So 15 upon 2. So how do we get number of bricks? Number of bricks into area of brick gives you the total area, right? So number of bricks will be total area divided by the area of the bricks. Okay. So now what is total area is 15 upon 2 divided by the area of the brick is 1 upon 25. So then we use the reciprocal method. So 15 upon 2 multiplied by 25 upon 1. Right. So here what do? We cannot cut anything because 15, 25, none of them is divisible by 2. So we multiply 25 into 12. 25 into 15, and we get it as 375, which is 375 upon 2, right? And if we want to convert, because these are number of bricks asked, it is given in the improper form. So if we divide it, 2 1s are 2, 2 8s are 16, 2 7s are 14. So 187 bricks and half of a brick. These many bricks are needed to cover the area, right? This is example number 4. Example number 5. Now this problem was posed by Chaturveda Prithu Dakswami in his commentary on Brahmagupta's book. Again, Brahmas Foot Siddhant. So here there is a question given like 4 fountains, they fill a cistern. The first fountain can fill the cistern in a day. The second can fill it in a half a day. The third can fill it in a quarter of a day. And the fourth can fill the cistern in 1/5 of the day. Right? So if all of them they flow together, how much time will they take to fill the cistern? So in a day, the number of times the first fountain will fill the cistern is 1 divided by 1, that is 1 time. Second fountain will fill the cistern, that is 1 divided by half. So 1 into 2, that is 2 times. The third fountain will fill the cistern is 1 divided by 1 upon 4. So 1 multiplied by 4, that is equal to 4 times. The fourth fountain will fill the cistern is 1 divided by 1 upon 5. So we write the reciprocal of 1 upon 5, that is 5. So 1 into 5 is 5. Right. So the number of times the 4 fountains together will fill the cistern in a day will be 1. We add all these answers. 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5, that gives you 12. Right? So 12 times. So the total time needed by the 4 fountains will be together is 1 upon 12th of a day. Right? So these are some of the word problems. Now other fractional relationship we'll cover up in the next video. Thank you.